This week on Cars.com's On the Road, shoot lasers into traffic with the Connecticut State Police. Learn about the app that gets you out of a jam. And take a first peek at the 2011 models. Choose your weapon because the show's about to start.
Hello, my name is Trooper Davis from Connecticut State Police Traffic Services Unit. Today I'm going to discuss two laser units that we utilize here in traffic services. Now let's go into the field and see how these two units operate. Now this area looks like a very good place to run laser because as you can see, it has a very wide shoulder, which would make it safe not only for the trooper, but also for the violator. The great thing about a laser unit is that a laser unit is target specific, which means in traffic, if I can put my red dot on the front of your vehicle, I can now ascertain the speed of your specific vehicle without capturing the speed of other vehicles around you. Now this specific vehicle in the center lane was just clocked at 65 miles per hour. The next vehicle was at 76, 67. The silver vehicle was just clocked at 82. I prefer to shoot laser inside my vehicle for two reasons. One is officer safety, and the second is reaction time, the time it takes me to stop the violator. Now what brings my attention to your vehicle as a trooper? What we like to do is get an average speed of traffic flow in the Pacific area. And once you accelerate past that speed, you now have my attention. How you doing? All right, I clocked you on laser at 80. You have your license registration there? I have you on laser. I'm sorry? Oh, the laser unit that I clocked you on, yes. Yes, I'm gonna issue an infraction for speeding. The fine in Connecticut for 80 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone, that fine is $254. Listen, if you choose to speed in the state of Connecticut, it does not matter which tool we choose to use, you will get caught.
Hi, I'm Joe Weisenfelder with Cars.com. We're taking a look at the 2011 BMW 5 Series. It comes in 6-cylinder versions, the 535 and soon a 528, but this is the top. The 550 with a twin-turbo V8. Now the 2011 is a complete re-engineering and redesign, bringing some much-needed changes to the styling. The previous generation had kind of a weird front end. The headlights had swoopy looking like kind of eyebrows, crazy stuff. This is much more handsome, but we actually have another problem with the headlights. There's this white stripe here that people don't like, I don't like it. Someone said it looks like film you're supposed to pull off after you buy the car. Someone else called it a milk mustache, maybe in this case more of a milk eyebrow. Now the feature called Driving Dynamics Control allows you to choose between comfort and sport settings using just a simple rocker switch. It used to be you'd have to hit one button for the suspension, another one for sport mode on the transmission. Here it just starts out comfort. You can go to normal, sport, and sport plus. Now complete redesigns are the automaker's one chance to make big changes like an interior space. The car's 2 inches longer overall, 3 inches more wheelbase. Unfortunately, the interior isn't that much bigger, at least in terms of legroom. I've got the seat all the way back. I wouldn't mind a little bit more space here in front. Now the back seat is a similar story. When you see a car get bigger on the outside, you at least want to see it get a little bit bigger on the inside. There's only a 1/10 of an inch more legroom here in the back seat. Now it is workable. The front seat's all the way back in the position I had it in. My knees are raised a little bit, but we just tested the M sedan from Infiniti and it felt a little bit bigger. Now one improvement in terms of size is the trunk. This one's powered as an option. It's now 18.4 cubic feet, which is a big improvement over the 2010 model's 14 cubic feet. Now, you can get folding back seats. Always good to have to extend the cargo area forward. What bothers me is, just like a lot of luxury cars, you have to pay almost $500 to add that feature that is free in $10,000 cars. It's maddening. The V8 engine is more powerful than it was in 2010, and there's an 8-speed instead of a 6-speed transmission. So even though it's more powerful, you get better efficiency. 2 miles per gallon better city, 3 miles per gallon better highway for $17.25. Not bad for a car that does 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds.
You know those times when you're driving down the highway and traffic starts to bunch up and you're wondering, am I headed for a traffic jam? Is this traffic jam going to be extended? Wouldn't it be nice to know that right ahead of time? Well, this is Jeff with On the Road, and I've got another free mobile app for you to check out. It's called Beat the Traffic. When you launch Beat the Traffic, what it does is it uses your cell phone's GPS system to figure out exactly where you are, takes a look at the surrounding area, and tells you whether there's any traffic incidents, the average speed for the roads that you're heading up to, and there's actually access to traffic cameras right here built into the app. This is available for the iPhone, the Android, and the BlackBerry. You can even punch up these traffic cams and look for yourself in real time what it is that you're headed for. Again, it's Beat the Traffic. It's a free download for your mobile phone. I would recommend checking it out today before you hit the road.
When does the act of driving actually begin? A lot of people will tell you that it's when they're in the car, have put it in gear, and they're ready to move out. But in reality, the act of driving begins right now, as you walk up to the car. Because once you're behind the wheel, there's a tremendous amount of real estate that you're not going to be able to see from the driver's seat. Want proof? Hop on in and I'll show you. I'm going to put out 4 cones where you tell me to place them. When you can see the whole cone, including the base, just beep the horn. Now I'm going to put the other 3 cones where we've determined they should go. Now that we've placed the cones, let's see what you can't see. The results? Everything 17 feet from the front bumper, 5 feet from the driver's door, 42 feet from the rear bumper, and 13 feet from the right passenger door is invisible to you when you're behind the driver's seat. That's why you need to start driving as you approach the car. That's the time to look to see what might be invisible to you once you get in the car.
Lincoln Tech acquired Bear Institute a couple years ago. We offer students a wide variety of programs. We have automotive, auto body, motorcycle, diesel, HVAC, welding, electrical.
I've always had a passion for the automotive industry. Actually, I got into it because of my grandfather. He had a lot of old cars that I liked, so I wanted to restore some of my own.
Some of the things I've learned at Lincoln Tech are brakes, we've done the wheels, ACs, electrical, computers.
We're doing a lot of suspension work. Welding was actually the first time I've ever done. Got here. I'm actually pretty happy that I can weld now.
And then they get into the performance end of it, which is diagnostics, engine controls, emissions, fuel systems. So they pretty much learn the car from the bottom up.
I want to learn a little bit more about cars, just not about, driving fancy cars. I want to actually know what's under the hood.
I like to work with my hands. I like artwork. I like to mess with paint and colors.
If you're a high school student and you're sitting at home after school and you're ripping your car apart or you're putting your car back together again, if you have the basic mechanical ability to use your hands, we'll give you the knowledge to put that to work.
Well, if you're willing to get your hands dirty, it's a good place to start.
You got to be prepared, stay focused.
Back in the 50s and 60s, cars were made very, very simple. They had carburetors, basic electrical systems, not much going on with them. Cars of today, their computer systems are very sophisticated, very high-tech.
Especially going now over into the hybrids, it's really transforming more to electrical and more to computers and high tech.
It's very important to know the technology behind it. Anybody can change parts. The most important thing is knowing how to diagnose the problem and replace the right part the first time, not the second, third time down the road.
After I finish the program here, I'd like to work at a dealership and most likely start my own business.
There's a lot of people that tend to find jobs either at a custom shop, a dealer, anywhere you'd find there's going to be a place to work.
You can make very, very good money doing this. And on top of making your paycheck every week at your job, you go home and you do a little extra there. So you're making the cash there as well.
There's going to be cars all over the road every day, so no matter what, there's always going to be a job for you out there.
Are cars just for transportation?
Some people may think so, but for most drivers, their vehicle is also a fashion statement. Enter the new for 2010 Honda Accord Cross Tour. While Hondas have always been in style, the company hopes that the new Cross Tour will be considered highly fashionable. On the road, the 271 horsepower V6 and 5-speed automatic transmission deliver an excellent performance. Front-wheel drive is standard, all-wheel drive is an option if you buy the top EXL model with its leather upholstery. The ride is firm, but the Cross Tour easily absorbs most bumps. Handling reflects the Contour's weight. The car is predictable and controllable, but not really sporty. Inside, there's plenty of comfort and room for adults, front and rear. The high seating position gives a great view ahead, and it's only in the cargo area that the styling extracts a penalty. You'll want the rear view camera. The new Honda Accord Cross Tour, practical up to a point and undeniably stylish. For more reviews in greater detail, check out my column each week in the Wednesday Wheels section of the Hartford Courant.
This is our 18th annual car show. It's now known as the Klingberg Vintage Motor Car Festival. The president of Klingberg said, let's do a small event. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And she says, how about, like a car show? And we had a few cars come the first year. I think probably about 50 or 60 of them. We have 66 cars on this field that were here by invitation. They are the pristine cars. They are cars that are elegant. One of the areas of cars in the Concours this year is the Connecticut-made cars. At the turn of the century, the 20th century, there were over 185 manufacturers of cars in Connecticut. The first car made in Connecticut was by the Pope Manufacturing Company. Other cars that were made around the same time was the Frisbee down in Middletown. The most famous Connecticut car is the Locomobile, made in Bridgeport. Another interesting car was the Trumbull. Trumbull was made around 1912, 1914. We've got a number of Packards, which was an American car and big and beautiful. We also have Rolls Royces and Cadillacs. We also have a Franklin limousine here, which is an air-cooled car. There's not many air-cooled cars that were made. We also have a 1909 Alco. This is a race car that was in the Vanderbilt Cup races back in 1909 and 1910. Two of the cars that raced in 1910 are here. The Alco, which won the race, and the Corbin Cannonball, which had to drop out of the race because of a broken water pump. We have dancing. We have kids' activities, home-cooked food made here in our own kitchens. We have museum displays. If you want to have a good time, if you want to see rare cars, this is the place to be.
Watch how easy it is to drive in a Hydra-Matic Oldsmobile. This special camera mounted on the back of the car will give you a bird's eye view. Keep your eye on the driver's right hand. See, even as she slows down smoothly and stops for a traffic sign, she has both hands on the wheel. Even as she starts up again and pulls away from traffic, there's no gear shifting, no clutch pushing. All she does is steer the car and operate the accelerator. There's not even a clutch pedal there. The camera shows that Hydra-Matic Drive works almost like magic. Keeps you always in the right gear automatically. It's smart to own an Olds, a futuramic Oldsmobile with GM Hydra-Matic Drive.
Did you hear that? I didn't think so. I didn't hear it either. What you and I didn't hear was the sound of a gasoline-electric hybrid going by on electric power alone. They'll do that to save energy. But when they are in electric power alone, they are very, very quiet. And to make matters worse, they're most likely to be in their electric-only mode while cruising city and suburban streets, not to mention parking lots. In other words, they are quietest where they are most likely to encounter pedestrians. The federal government said in a research paper released last year that hybrids are twice as likely to be involved in accidents with pedestrians at low speeds compared to cars with standard gasoline or diesel engines. And now it's not just hybrids. Nissan is readying the all-electric Leaf for sale, Smart has an electric version, and Tesla is selling cars in New York City. Silence could become a real problem. As a result, we should all be more careful when we're crossing city streets and be particularly aware in parking lots.
Picking a dealership is probably the hardest thing. A lot of people are very unsure about where to go to look for proper information.
People should be looking for a dealership that's of good size, one that has a good inventory, both new and used cars. They should be looking for a dealership that's been in business for a long time, one that's been there and is going to be there for them. And they should be looking at a dealership that is concerned with the customer after the sale, not just concerned with selling the car. A dealership that's been there for a while obviously has got its roots in the community and in doing the right thing long term. And you know what? You want to be able to go back to that same dealer, you want to be able to see the same people and be able to develop a comfortable relationship with them so that when you need a car or you need service or you need parts, you know where to go.
If there's a lot full of cars, you're going to find that it's probably a successful dealership. Take a look, see how the cars are displayed, make sure they're clean inside and out.
I think that the initial greeting by the salesperson will give you a quick idea whether you've got a good salesperson or not. You're looking for someone who knows his product and also knows their inventory. Because again, you don't want to spend a lot of time, trying to find a car or, looking at cars that may not fit your range. So you want a good salesperson that knows how to take you through that purchase experience.
Service is very important. Most people, if they're lucky, they get to buy either a new or used car probably in 4 or 5 years. You're going to visit the service department many more times than that, just for your oil changes and maintenance, plus if you have a problem.
I've always viewed the customer as a long-term partner in my success.
If they like what they see on the outside, chances are you probably like what you see on the inside.
At the end of the day, you have to feel comfortable with who that person is because you're going to entrust them with a large amount of money, whatever that amount may be. One thing I found is whatever people are spending, it's a lot of money to them.
I prefer to have nice people that sell cars.
Hi, I'm Patrick Olson, Suburban Dad for Cars.com. The minivan's been around for 25 years. A lot of people think it's dead, but Toyota's out to prove them wrong with the new 2011 Sienna. We're looking at the SE model, which is really intended for men. So as a part way to get them, it has this blacked out grille on the front. On the inside, it has nicer materials. It's got like a carbon fiber that goes over the glove box. It's got kind of a plasticky wood grain over the rest of it, and it's got a very simplified format in the center console. Unlike Honda's Odyssey, which has more than 40 buttons, this seems more manageable and more contemporary. One of the cool things about the Sienna is that the second row isn't locked into just one position. For example, there's no one in the third row, so we can go ahead and push it back, get ourselves plenty of room to climb into the car. Now the second row seats are very comfortable, unlike the stone seats, say in a Chrysler. They're tilted in a way that gives you plenty of thigh support, which makes those long trips much more tolerable. Now if you want to get kids into the back seat, it's not that hard. Simply hop out, pull this lever and move the seats forward, and then you can climb into the back. Now once you're in the third row, you're going to notice that it's really more for kids. The seats are shorter, they're lower to the ground, probably not that comfortable for long rides for adults. The new Sienna is nothing like the minivans of yore. It isn't labor trying to get up hills or to get started. In fact, it's actually kind of a pleasant experience. Getting up to speed is not a problem in this minivan. In fact, there's a nice throaty rumble when you achieve that. Handling is great. It feels very grippy, very low to the ground. And while it's not a sports car, it's certainly a lot more pleasant experience than your parents' minivan must have been. Finally, cargo is the reason that most people get minivans, and Toyota's made that easy in the Sienna. Unlike a lot of crossovers and other minivans, it's easy to drop the third row here. Just pull the handle, drop the seats into the floor, and then you've got plenty of space for your shopping needs or anything else that you might want to carry. With crossover sales up and minivan sales down, this could be the better mousetrap that helps Toyota win the minivan race.
Mini Cooper, probably convertible. Fun car to drive. Don't have kids anymore, don't need the room.
Well, I've had a Miata, I'd get another one of those again. I love those. Well, it boils down to money. So I would probably buy a sports car, something that's comfortable to drive.
I would buy an Audi 4 if he had no input into it at all. Because I have a Volkswagen right now, and I like the German engineering of the car, and so I would like to go a step up.
Well, I'm a cheap car guy, so I'd like a 65 Corvair convertible. They're probably all in rust buckets at this point.
There he comes now in his merry Oldsmobile. It's a futuramic Oldsmobile with the newest push-button features. Automatic windows, automatic top. Just pull a handy control, and before you've had time to admire the smooth-flowing futuramic lines of this real post-war Oldsmobile, the top is down, automatically. Like to drive it? Just slip into that big, comfortable front seat, touch that button, and presto. The seat adjusts itself. Driving's almost automatic, too, with GM Hydromatic Drive. There's no clutch pedal, and gears shift automatically in this smart, new, futuramic Oldsmobile for 1948.